Some of the areas of concern that I hear about quite a bit involve protective sweeps. I haven't covered this topic in quite some time, and I want to therefore repost my video from a couple of years ago that talked about protective sweeps. If you have any comments or suggestions for this topic, or if you have ideas for future videos, please leave them in the comment section down below. So now, here's younger me discussing protective sweeps. Today's topic is protective sweeps, what you can and can't do when conducting a protective sweep. I'm Steve Cerbalic, and I'm an attorney with ASCOPS in Arizona. Police officers have the right and the responsibility to be safe, but this is balanced against protections given to suspects by the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and also protections in the Arizona Constitution. This video will make sure you stay safe and within the law when you conduct a protective sweep. Today I'll cover the limits of protective sweeps, the requirements for specific facts to engage in a protective sweep, and the application of the plain view doctrine. Know that this is a basic summary. If you have questions or if you're under investigation, ask for help. Protective sweeps are limited to looking for people or things that can hurt you or others in the community. In other words, you're looking for a threat that might be posed by an unknown person when you conduct a protective sweep. So the purpose of the sweep is to do a check for a person, which means you can look in areas that are the size of a person. That means you can't go looking through closed compartments or containers that can't fit a human being. If you want to do that, get consent or a warrant. So now that you know what you can look for, let's talk about things to consider before you decide to conduct a protective sweep. The first thing is whether you have the potential for a threat posed by another person. As an example, in a domestic violence call, if the reporting party meets you at the door and you're concerned that the suspect is still inside, you may be able to conduct a protective sweep. You also need specific facts that you can point to if you're asked why a protective sweep was conducted. In our domestic violence example, facts could include sounds or visual cues from inside the house that would lead you to believe that the suspect was still inside. Statements from witnesses or the victim or other indicators. Once you have the specific facts that would allow you to justify a protective sweep, you are able to act on things that you see during your protective sweep. That said, be careful not to stretch this concept too far. Again, the purpose of a protective sweep is to look for people that could hurt you, so avoid looking in places that are too small for a person to fit. Don't push the justification for a protective sweep just because you want to look for evidence of a crime. Looking for evidence is not a valid basis for a protective sweep. Finally, when in doubt, try to get consent from the homeowner to conduct a more thorough search. If you can't get consent, consider whether you're able to secure the scene and get a warrant to search for evidence. So here's the recap. We covered the limits of protective sweeps. They're based upon the principle that the officer is looking for threats to themselves or the public. We also covered how protective sweeps require the officer to have specific facts he or she could point to in order to show there's a likelihood for a person to be inside. Next, the concept of plain view applies, but be careful. Don't enter a house saying it's a protective sweep just to look for evidence of a crime. It's a better idea to ask for consent or get a warrant. Finally, when in doubt, ask for help. Search and seizure can be a complicated topic, and lawyers like me and organizations like ASCOPS are here to help. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button below and subscribe for more law enforcement lessons. I'm Steve Cerbalic. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.